Hello and welcome to your employee benefit enrollment meeting for the 2020 to 2021 plan year. I'm Ariel Peterson and I work for Morton & Company, which is the broker for your employee benefits package. Today we're going to be talking about all the different benefits that Logan City School District is offering their full-time employees. If you want to follow along, you can refer to your employee benefits guide that has summaries of all the different plans that are available to you. All right, so inside this guide, we've listed all of your carrier's information, including the lines of coverage they offer, their customer service phone numbers, and their web addresses. The best way to get the most out of these benefits is going to be by using services from a participating provider. If you need to figure out who a participating provider is, you can do so by going online, calling customer service, or even calling that provider's office directly. Now, if you call their office, make sure you ask if they're a contracted provider in order to avoid any balance billing. That means that if the provider or that facility are contracted to participate within that network, they won't be able to charge you for the difference between the billed and the allowed amounts. The contact information you're going to need to get a hold of your account manager is listed under Morton & Company in that gray box there at the top of the first page in your guide. If you have a claims issue, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are your advocate here, and we're going to be the liaison between you and your carriers. You're considered eligible for the benefits we're talking about today if you're a full-time employee, you're working at least 30 hours a week, and you've met your waiting period. Your benefits actually start on the first of the month after your full-time date of hire. So, for example, if you were hired as a full-time employee on July 3rd, your benefits wouldn't start until August 1st. And the same would actually be true if you were hired on July 31st. Coverage is extended to your legal spouse and your dependent children, and then that coverage for your children is only offered through the end of the month of their 26th birthday. Once you make your elections for this upcoming year, you're going to get locked into those decisions until the next open enrollment period begins. The only way you can make a change to your plan at any other point throughout the year would be if you have a qualifying life event or a change in family status. Some of the most common qualifying events that you might experience would include marriage, divorce, having a baby, adopting a child, or if your spouse gains or loses employment that affects your coverage. There's a detailed list about these events included in the right-hand column of page 2 of your guide. Now, should you have a qualifying change in family status, you have 30 days from that event date where you have to notify the Benefits and Payroll Department and report that same change in your online benefit system, Infiniti HR. There are instructions on how to do all of that on the very last page of your guide. Keep in mind that if this window closes and you haven't made any changes, you're going to continue to be locked into those existing decisions until the next open enrollment period begins. So just make sure you keep an eye on all of those deadlines. Logan City School District is offering you a medical plan through Motive Health. Now there are 2 plans offered, both of which are high deductible health plans. That just means that you're going to need to satisfy the applicable deductible before your plan's going to pay out any benefits. However, you'll also have the opportunity to contribute some pre-tax dollars into your own personal health savings account. You can use the funds from that account to help you cover some or maybe even all of your pre-deductible costs, which is something I can walk you through a little bit later. These plans have both in-network and out-of-network coverage. However, I highly recommend that you try to get services through an in-network provider whenever you can. You're going to find that doing that is actually going to save both you and the plan money, and who doesn't want to save some money, right? The district is providing that second plan listed here, the HSA 4000, for you and your family at no cost to you. It features a $4,000 individual deductible and an $8,000 family deductible. And then after you've met that deductible, the plan will pay out 80% of covered expenses up to your out-of-pocket max of either $6,000 if you're enrolled as an employee only, or $12,000 if you're enrolled with dependents. You also have the option to buy up to the HSA 2000 plan, which is the one that's listed in those first couple of columns there. And that would just mean that you're going to pay a portion of the premium in exchange for this lower deductible. Those premium amounts, by the way, are listed at the bottom of the table on page 3 in your guide if you want to give those a look. The HSA 2000 option features a $2,000 individual deductible and a $4,000 family deductible. This plan also is going to pay out 80% of your covered expenses up to that individual employee out-of-pocket max of $6,000. However, that maximum for you and your dependents together is lessened to $6,850 rather than that $12,000 limit you see on that base plan. And just as a quick reminder, all of the amounts that we just reviewed are only applicable to care you receive from in-network providers. If you choose to see an out-of-network provider, your deductibles, your coinsurance, and your out-of-pocket maximums are all going to increase significantly. So just remember, in-network is going to just be your best option. With either of these plans, preventive services like annual exams, mammograms, well-child checkups, immunizations, and even colonoscopy screenings are all covered at 100% as long as that primary code billed is a preventive code. If you're experiencing any symptoms when you go in, that code will probably change to a diagnostic code, and then your deductible, out-of-pocket max, and coinsurance amounts are all going to end up coming into play. Anything outside of preventive care, like office visits, x-rays, labs, hospital services, emergency care, and mental health services, are all subject to your plan's deductible amount. After you've fulfilled that deductible, your coinsurance is going to kick in, which means you'll still be responsible for paying 20% of the cost of those covered services until you hit your out-of-pocket maximum. Once you've hit that maximum, though, most claims are going to get covered 100%. If you want more details on the specific limitations of what's not covered, you can find that information in your carrier's manual. This same process also applies to your out-of-network coverage, but as you can see, your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums are doubled, and then your coinsurance increases, so you're responsible for paying 40% of your covered services. So again, it's definitely in your best interest and obviously less expensive to stay in network. Your plan also covers prescription drugs, both through local pharmacies and through mail order. All of these prescriptions are subject to your deductible, coinsurance, and out-of-pocket maximums, just like all of your non-preventive services. I'd also like to recommend that you try to use a generic prescription drug if it's available in order to help keep your out-of-pocket costs down. Your telehealth services are provided by Healthiest You. Now, this isn't meant to replace your primary care physician at all. It's just a faster and more affordable way to get some care for easily diagnosed problems or common conditions. The best part about this plan is that it actually won't cost you anything to call in, and there's no limits on how many calls you can make or even when you make one, because they're available 24/7 via phone, video, and email. We're going to watch a little video provided by Healthiest You that's just going to talk about some of these benefits in a little more detail.
Life is always on the go. We believe your healthcare should be too. You don't have time to wait at the doctor's office. Find a pharmacy nearby. Wait for a prescription. With Healthiest You, you get your time back. From our app, you can talk to a doctor 24/7 by phone or video and pick up the lowest cost prescription at a pharmacy near you. Finally, you have control of your health, so you can get back to what you were doing. For healthcare on the go, we're your go-to.
Pretty cool, right? Healthiest You also has a really convenient mobile app that's available for both iOS and Android devices so that you can have easy access to their services and their FAQ section if you need a quick answer to a common question. Any additional information you might need about this great telehealth benefit is included on page 4 of your guide. Your medical carrier, Motive Health, also offers several health plan services to their members. You can find the details of how to take advantage of these programs explained on page 5 of your guide. Meanwhile, I'll just let a representative from Motive Health go ahead and tell you how these programs can benefit both you and your family.
This section is all about member engagement and the many ways in which Motive Health seeks to empower their members to be consumers of their healthcare. The first member incentive program we're going to discuss is the Member Steps Incentive Program. Here, policyholders and their covered spouses are eligible to earn $1 for every day they walk 8,000 or more steps up to 20 days a month. All contributions earned this way will be deposited directly into the member's health savings account. To participate in this program, eligible members will need to go online by visiting motivehealth.com, create their member account, either request a free Garmin device from Motive Health or identify a preferred device they currently have, and then simply sync that directly to their member account. Once all devices have been activated and synced, members are free to earn $1 a day for every day they walk 8,000 or more steps. At Motive Health, it pays to walk literally. In 2019, Motive Health contributed more than $280,000 in HSA contributions into our members' HSA accounts simply because they chose to participate in our member steps incentive programs. We encourage you, like we've encouraged all members, to engage in the member steps incentive program so Motive Health can partner with you in helping to build health savings. In addition to the member step incentive program, Motive Health wants to ensure that its members spend their healthcare dollars efficiently. That's why we've created the Prompt Pay program. Prompt Pay is all about aligning quality and cost in healthcare decision making. In other words, we want our members to receive the highest quality care at the most affordable price. Prompt Pay works by aligning member and health plan in seeking to find value in their healthcare decision making. It works in the following way. The next time you or a member of your family have a non-emergent planned medical procedure, please contact Motive Health. Once contacted, Motive Health will provide you with full price transparency across our network with respect to in-network providers who can provide you the services in question. Should you elect to receive services from a Prompt Pay provider and agree to pay your member responsibility on or before the day of the service, Motive Health will also pay its portion of that cost up front to the provider, meaning that the provider is paid in full on or before the day of the service. As a result, the health plan and its members generate a significant savings, a portion of which is shared with you in the form of either an HSA contribution, reduced out-of-pocket expense, or in the form of a physical check. Let's see why the power of price transparency is so significant and how knowing the cost up front can help you become a savvy consumer of healthcare. To show you the necessity of our Prompt Pay program, we've identified 5 common Prompt Pay eligible procedures and showed you the average in-network pricing by procedure. As you can see, depending on where you go and the services you can expect to receive, you could save hundreds, if not tens of thousands of dollars. This is why the power of Prompt Pay and price transparency is so critically important. We need to ensure that our members have access to the tools and resources they need to make smart, cost-conscious decisions. But more importantly, as we indicated, when you engage in driving greater healthcare savings, you as a member of Motive Health win. You win by lowering your out-of-pocket costs, lowering your claim costs for your employer, and lowering overall medical expenditure for the health plan. And when that happens, premiums have a tendency to go down, and your health savings has a tendency to increase. Similar to our STEP incentive program, when members engage with Motive Health, great things can happen. In this case, in 2019, Motive Health and its members saved more than $3 million in unnecessary medical health care costs simply because members engaged with our Prompt Pay program, elected to go to Prompt Pay providers, paid cash on or before the day of the service, and engaged the power of price transparency. We know with you, Motive Health can continue to drive additional savings that's going to impact you, your employer, and your healthcare dollars over time. Prescription medications are not cheap. In fact, by most accounts, prescription medication costs is the number 1 or 2 cost driver in the American healthcare system. Many members of Motive Health are taking high-cost name brand medications that in most circumstances would be defined as unaffordable. However, through our pharmacy assistance program, Motive Health has been able to assist its members in lowering or eliminating their monthly out-of-pocket prescription costs simply by placing a phone call to one of our prescription benefit members. If you or anybody enrolled in the Motive Health medical health insurance plan is taking a name brand or specialty medication that costs $200 or more, please contact Motive Health today. We will run you through a free cost assessment, determine your eligibility, and help you enroll in either full or copay assistance, which, as I mentioned, could lower or entirely eliminate your monthly out-of-pocket costs. In addition to our standard prescription benefit assistant programs, Motive Health does offer unique assistance for insulin-dependent diabetics as well as those with diabetic testing supply needs. If you or anybody enrolled in your medical health insurance plan through Motive Health has a need for insulin or diabetic testing supplies, please contact Motive Health today. We may be able to lower or entirely eliminate your monthly out-of-pocket expense. Similar to the member step incentive and prompt pay programs, when members engage with Motive Health, great things can happen. As you can see, in 2019, Motive Health and its members saved more than $11.4 million in prescription claim spend. That's real savings that is had and experienced by both members and employers alike. The next section discusses valuable tools and resources that Motive Health would like to provide to you as a valued member of Motive Nation. These tools are meant to help you engage in the healthcare system and find greater confidence and comfort in making the right decision at the right price.
At Motive Health, we want you to feel empowered when seeking to engage in your healthcare. That is why we've created our unique member portal meant to provide you with tools and resources you'll need to participate in your healthcare with confidence. Once your account is created, you'll have instant access to your medical and HSA benefits. Additionally, you'll be able to find care, view claims, research costs, and learn about how you can participate with one or more of Motive Health's unique member incentive programs. To create your account is simple. Just visit motivehealth.com and click on the login icon located in the top right-hand corner.
As has been mentioned, Motive Health is a huge proponent of price transparency, which is why we've created and given you access to our price transparency tool. Now within your member portal, at any time, at home or on the go, you can easily look up providers and see their contracted rates for the top 10 to 15 most commonly billed CPT codes by provider. Now it's possible for you as a member of Motive Health to know the full cost of care before it's been received. Motive Health understands how critically important it is for you to gain easy access to your medical and HSA benefits at home or on the go. That's why we've given you the ability to download the Motive Health mobile app for free, either on Google or Android. To access this benefit, simply go to your preferred app store, search for Motive Health, and download the Motive app. To gain access, you will have had to have created your account online, and then you will simply use the same username and password to access your account via the mobile app. For any questions or concerns regarding the mobile app or how you can download and access it, please contact Motive Health today.
Okay, so since the medical plans you're being offered are both qualified high deductible health plans, you might qualify to make contributions into your own health savings account, which is also known as an HSA. The HSA is an awesome way to save tax-free dollars for eligible medical expenses that aren't already covered by your plan, like your deductibles and your coinsurance. The maximum annual amount you can contribute for 2020 is $3,550 if you're getting individual coverage, or $7,100 if you've included anyone else on your plan with you. If you're 55 or older, you're actually also eligible to make what's called a catch-up contribution, which allows you to add an additional $1,000 to those limits. This year, the district is going to be using Motive HSA as their administrator for these HSA contributions. Now, if you were previously enrolled on the medical plan through Motive Health, you should already have a new HSA bank account set up for you. If you're enrolling for the first time, your account should be set up as soon as Motive Health receives your enrollment. For those of you that currently have an HSA through Health Equity, you have the option to roll over those funds to Motive HSA by filling out their Motive Health HSA transfer form. You can find that form on your employee homepage for enrollment on Infiniti HR or on the Logan City School District website by navigating to the Departments drop-down menu, clicking Business Office, then selecting Insurance and Benefits from the left-hand menu down the page. If you'd prefer to keep your HSA with Health Equity, you're going to be responsible to pay their monthly account maintenance fee, which averages out to be about $3.95 a month. Logan School District also has several options available to you for reimbursement accounts. For those of you that have chosen not to enroll in the district's medical plan and you're not otherwise enrolled in any other qualifying high deductible health plan, you might want to consider participating in a flexible spending account, which is also known as an FSA. This account is similar to an HSA in the sense that it's also going to allow you to contribute pre-tax dollars for eligible medical expenses, just with some different limitations and rules with it. Your annual contribution limit for an FSA is $2,750, but unlike an HSA, you actually don't withdraw these funds directly in order to pay your claim. Instead, when you have a qualifying expense, you'll pay your bill first, then submit a claim, and then after that, you'll be reimbursed by the funds that you've accumulated in that flex account. There's also the option to use a limited purpose FSA. It allows those that are enrolled in one of the district's HSA plans to also set aside that $2,750 per year, but only in order to cover certain dental and vision expenses that aren't already covered by the plan. You can also use it for out-of-pocket medical expenses after you've reached your deductible. And the last of these options is what's called a Dependent Care Assistance Plan, or DCAP. This allows you to contribute up to $5,000 pre-tax dollars to pay for eligible dependent care expenses like daycare so that you can work. You can find additional details on these reimbursement account benefits on page 8 of the guide. The school district is also offering you a dental plan through Town & Country. Now, as you can see on page 9 of your guide, this plan has both in and out-of-network benefits, but again, if you want to get the best benefit possible, you're going to want to use an in-network participating dentist. If you need a list of dentists that are participating with this plan, you can go look that up online at www.matrixhc.com. Your preventive and diagnostic benefits like exams, cleanings, fluoride for children, and x-rays are all covered at 100% in network. If you choose to get those services out of network, they're only going to be covered at 70% of the network fee schedule. Your basic benefits like fillings, root canals, extractions, and periodontics are covered at 80% in network after you've reached a $75 deductible per person or a $225 deductible per family. Now, out of network, these services are only covered at 70% of the network fee schedule after you've met that same deductible. Just so you know, you only need to satisfy that deductible one time in a plan year, and then those co-insurance percentages kick in and you get to split the cost of those contracted services with Town & Country. Major services like crowns, bridges, and oral surgery are all covered at 50% in network after you've satisfied that same deductible. For these same services out of network, you're only going to get 40% coverage of the network fee schedule after the deductible's been met. And then the most your plan's going to pay out per plan year is $1,000. Your dental plan, unfortunately, does not provide orthodontic benefits. However, there are some providers that have agreed to a lower negotiated rate for all district employees. To find out which providers have made this arrangement with the district, you can call BAS Benefits, whose contact information is on the first page of your guide. Vision plans you're being offered are also through Town & Country. There's 2 different plans to choose from, both of which are considered reimbursement plans, which means that you're going to pay for your services up front and then submit a claim to your carrier for reimbursement. The good news with these plans is that there's actually no provider network, so you can see any optometrist or ophthalmologist of your choice. The main difference between these plans is that the Silver Vision E150 will reimburse you for your eye exam, whereas the Silver Vision 150 won't. On that E150 plan, you're entitled to 1 eye exam per plan year, after which you're going to be reimbursed for up to $50 per person that's enrolled under this benefit. Aside from eye exam coverage, these plans are basically identical. They're going to allow you to purchase either glasses or contacts, but not both together, once per plan year, with your lens benefit only being available once a year also. If you choose to purchase glasses, you can be reimbursed for up to $150 of the retail price. Anything above that amount is going to be your responsibility. Your single, bifocal, and trifocal lenses can all be reimbursed for up to $75 for the lens itself, plus another $100 for any lens option add-ons like tinting, UV coating, and standard scratch resistance, anti-reflective, and polycarbonate additions. If you'd rather buy contacts, you can do so instead of glasses for a reimbursement of up to $150. Keep in mind with contact purchases that you can only submit 1 reimbursement per plan year. So if you can't buy enough contacts at one time to meet the $150 allowance, I'd recommend that you save those receipts until they at least total this maximum benefit and then submit them for reimbursement. Neither of these plans offer any benefits for LASIK or PRK surgery. However, there are some providers that are willing to offer a discount on these procedures. Keep in mind that your HSA or FSA dollars can really be used in paying for these procedures also, so you do have some options to explore if this is something you or your family are in need of. These basic life and AD&D benefits offered through Cigna are employer-paid benefits, which means that you don't pay any premium. It'll cover you for $50,000 for life, and then another $50,000 for AD&D, which stands for accidental death and dismemberment. It'll also cover your spouse and any children under the age of 26 for $5,000 for life and an additional $5,000 for AD&D. You're going to want to make sure that you've enrolled any of your eligible dependents on Infiniti HR so that they can be listed for coverage. All of these details are outlined on page 11 of your guide in that table at the top of the page. Your voluntary life benefits are listed on page 11 as well, just below that basic life and AD&D section. It's a benefit that's voluntary, which means that if you want to enroll in it, you're going to have to pay the entire premium. You can elect coverage for yourself in $10,000 increments up to a maximum of $500,000. For your spouse, you can elect coverage in increments of $5,000 up to a maximum of either 50% of the employee benefit limit or $200,000, whichever one of those is less. Coverage for your dependents is actually going to vary based on their age. So your newborn babies from birth to 14 days old can be covered for up to $500. Babies that are 15 days old up to 6 months can double that coverage to $1,000, and then children between the ages of 6 months and 26 years old can be covered for any amount between $2,500 and $10,000. If you're considered a new hire, you have a guaranteed issue amount of $250,000 for you, $50,000 for your spouse, and $10,000 for any dependent children. Any requests for coverage outside of the new hire enrollment window or limits that are above those guaranteed issue amounts are going to need to submit evidence of insurability to Cigna in order to get approved for coverage. Your long-term disability coverage details are shown on page 12 of your guide. This is the kind of insurance that replaces a percentage of your income on a monthly basis in the very unfortunate event that you're unable to work due to some kind of accident or illness. This benefit is actually 100% employer paid, which means that the school district is paying for this coverage for you to protect you and your income if you get really sick or become disabled. Full-time employees can receive 60% of their weekly salary up to a maximum of $10,000 per month under these conditions. You'd have to be disabled for 120 consecutive days for this benefit to take effect. And then there's also a 3-month waiting period to cover any pre-existing conditions that you might have before you enter the plan. However, that pre-existing condition limitation is no longer applicable after you've been enrolled in this benefit for at least 12 months. And last but definitely not least are your LAP offerings through Cigna. LAP stands for Life Assistance Program, which is a great, confidential, short-term counseling resource that's available to all Logan City School District employees and anyone in their household. These services are completely covered by your employer, but don't worry, your personal information is never going to be shared with anyone without your direct knowledge and approval. Some of the topics that they're able and ready to discuss are listed in that blue sidebar on the right side of page 13, along with their phone number, which can be used 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You're entitled to 3 face-to-face visits and unlimited phone calls at no cost to you. So please be sure to take advantage of this great benefit if you need it. All right, so we've covered all of these different benefits that you can choose from, but how do you actually get enrolled for them? Through your online enrollment system, Infiniti HR. This program is provided by the district to help you make your benefit elections every year during open enrollment and throughout the year to report any qualifying life events. If you already have an account, you're going to use your same username and password to log in, review your elections, and then make any of the changes that you want. By the way, if you've forgotten your login credentials, there's both forgot your username and forgot your password links in the lower right-hand part of the screen. If you're a new employee or you're enrolling for the first time, you're going to get 2 emails. One's going to provide you with your username and the instructions on how to set your password. And then the second is going to outline all of your enrollment window dates with a link to the Infiniti HR site. These steps are shown on page 14 of your guide. And if you have any trouble, you can always call the Payroll and Benefits Department at the Logan City School District office for assistance. If you have any questions or you need any more clarification about your benefits, please make sure to reach out and talk to your amazing Morton & Company account manager, Stacy Rinlis-Baker. She's a great and knowledgeable resource, and she is more than happy to help with any of your benefit questions. Her information is shown here, but it's also listed along with your other carrier contacts on the first page of your guide. Thank you for taking the time to join me in learning about all of these awesome benefits that the school district is offering. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Happy enrolling!